Everybody who told me about the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG was completely wrong. Coming into this year, my biggest goal with this channel was I really wanted to diversify my content. I think I said this towards the end of last year, but I love playing Master Duel. I think Master Duel is fun in its own right, and I think talking to y'all about Master Duel is also great. But I wanted to kind of add more things to the channel so that videos wouldn't really feel just always the same thing. Like it's always a Master Duel video, is always me playing the same deck. Like I wanted to diversify a little bit. First of all, let me preface this because I feel like people get traumatized, like are traumatized when people say stuff like that. Because you'll have a channel, they'll make nothing but like the entire time you followed them, they've made like Minecraft videos. And then one day they're like, I want to be a professional belly dancer. And they just upload belly dance videos and you like, what the hell? It's nothing crazy like that. But I wanted to expand the avenues of the ways that I play Yu-Gi-Oh! And kind of touch some of the other TCGs too. All my experience with Yu-Gi-Oh! Really came through Master Duel. So the natural next progression of that was to go and try out the TCG. So I told myself, A, I'm gonna try to play the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG this year. B, I'm gonna try to learn how to play the One Piece TCG this year. And C, I'm gonna, in some form or fashion, do something with Magic the Gathering. My goal for this channel is just to play and experience as many TCGs as possible and hopefully get some people into those said TCGs and kind of interact with those community, whether that's locally, whether that's regionally, whether that's internationally. I just want to experience how people experience TCGs where they're from. A TCG that's popular in one area might not be popular in the other area. One TCG that's popular in said country might not be as popular in another country. I say all of this yapping to say that I wanted to try the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG this year, and I did just that. Now, prior to actually playing the TCG, I really had not heard great things about people that play Yu-Gi-Oh! I had not heard great things about the current meta in the TCG. Like, basically all I had heard was essentially negatives. I see stories where people got to cancel their Yu-Gi-Oh! Locals because everybody's so... First of all, please take baths, okay? Listen, it does not take y'all long to go hop in the shower, throw on some deodorant, and then go and play card games. I promise you. Being musty is a choice. It is not, you're doing this on purpose. I want to talk about some of the positives and negatives that I've experienced like the last, 2 months at this point of playing the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG. I built out Exo Sisters. It was a deck I felt pretty comfortable piloting. It was not really expensive for me to get. So yeah, that's the deck that I started off with. And yeah, there's some positives and some negatives to the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG. I think one of the positives is that the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community is slick underrated. I think the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community itself kind of gets a bad rap, but they're so closely aligned with my own personality. Like when I go and play these other TCGs, like they're cool. Like I have fun. I like the vibes of it, but there's nothing quite like, I've been to a pre-releases for a couple of TCGs, so I've played a bunch of them now. There's nothing quite like a Yu-Gi-Oh! The Yu-Gi-Oh! Community setting, bro. Like, and I don't think it's for everybody. I'm gonna say that. Like, I don't think the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community setting is for everybody. Obviously, you'll have some settings that are very low key, they're very vibey. But the Yu-Gi-Oh! Settings I be in, bro, they got a lot of this. There's a lot of this going on. Obviously, you're a kid, like they're not gonna do that. They're not gonna say nothing to you. Like they pick and choose, right? If a Yu-Gi-Oh! Player can look at you and tell like, yeah, we can do a lot of this. It's, I don't know. It's not for everybody, right? It's literally not for everybody. But for somebody like me who grew up the way that I grew up, I'm completely fine with you doing all this. If it stays respectful, listen, run it back. Hey, you won one, just don't want it done me. Don't beat me once and then try to run away. Don't do all of this, beat me once and then try to run away. At least give me a chance for my run back. And I think that's like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community is very, I'm trying to find a word, the politically correct word for it. They're really headstrong, bro. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Community is extremely headstrong in the way that they play their game. They're headstrong. A lot of them are headstrong in their personality. And I just really vibe with that. Another positive, I think, is that Yu-Gi-Oh! At this moment, I think this is something that the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community kind of really takes for granted. And I think it's because they really aren't tapped into other communities, is that it is so easy to get Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, right? It is so easy to go out, look on shelves, and just buy something Yu-Gi-Oh! Related. I have yet to go into a store, and I've been collecting One Piece for like forever, right? Just started playing the game. So I have never been able to walk into a store and pick up anything One Piece related. At this point, you cannot walk into a store and really get anything Pokemon related. And I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Is really the only, Magic too. I think Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic right now are the only two games where you can go into the stores like a Target or Walmart and find things at MSRP, and you can find them really easily. Like, I can go to Walmart or Target any time of day and I will see one of those, what is it, the Kaiba decks, that newest deck, that newest Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck with the chibi stuff. Like, I see that all of the time, right? And people were afraid that when these full art cards came out, that Yu-Gi-Oh! Was gonna get hard to collect or hard to get cards to play with. But I don't think people really understands, like, people don't really understand the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community. A lot of people that play Yu-Gi-Oh! Don't care about rarity. They really don't. They like, so you have people that want to go and make their decks full rarity or whatever they want to do, but your standard Yu-Gi-Oh! Player does not care. Like, they just want to go and get affordable cards. And that's one thing I will give Konami in terms of like Yu-Gi-Oh! Is like, Konami does not care. They really don't care for real about people collecting. You see they're kind of starting to lean towards that with some of these serialized cards, but I think Konami has done a great job of printing their game, right? Konami will print the same card every set 100 times. They do not care. So they do a great job on that front. So I think this game, if you wanted to play Yu-Gi-Oh, is really easy to go out and find. If you're, for some reason, you want to collect Yu-Gi-Oh, it's really easy to go out and collect Yu-Gi-Oh. It's just easy. It's very accessible. And I think that's something that the Yu-Gi-Oh community kind of takes for granted when you look at these other communities and they're struggling. One con, I think, and it's probably the biggest con of Yu-Gi-Oh, probably the biggest con that everybody has about the game, is that, and people say this about Master Duel, and I think it's even more of a problem in the TCG. Well, it's really not a problem, but it's the thing people say about Yu-Gi-Oh, is that it's hard, bro. Okay, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not an easy game. Yu-Gi-Oh! Players will try to convince you that the game is not difficult. They will try to convince you up and down. And I think a lot of them don't really understand from a person who's completely new to Yu-Gi-Oh!'s perspective, right? If you're somebody that's played Yu-Gi-Oh! For a while, something that comes natural to you, right? You've played it for a while, or if you've had some interaction with Yu-Gi-Oh!, it comes naturally to you, right? When I first started this channel and I first was playing this game, people were getting really frustrated because they were like, bro, like, just do this, just do this, just do this. And I'm like, brother, I have to learn. Learning pains happen. And I think what happens with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community and what happens with new players, I feel like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community can sometimes be a bit too aggressive in how they're trying to help people learn. Like, don't get me wrong, there's obviously people who are very good at helping people learn. The community, large in part, really wants you to play this game. It really wants you to learn. But what do we know about how human emotions are, right? People are likely to respond and interact with something that's negative versus something that's positive. That's just human nature. It is what it is. I think the curve to be decent at Yu-Gi-Oh! Is very high. There's so much you have to learn. There are so many decks. Yu-Gi-Oh! Has like 1 billion interactions. You look at some of these other games, like there's like not a lot of different interactions happening in a turn. And a Yu-Gi-Oh! Turn, bro, there can be like 1 billion damn reactions in one singular term, let alone a game. When you think about Yu-Gi-Oh, you watch people play Yu-Gi-Oh, bro, there's so much happening at once that it can be overwhelming for a new player. And I think that is even more true for the TCG. And Yu-Gi-Oh is a game where it's like, you really have to want to learn it. You really have to. Because if you come into this game and you're a new player, like, it can feel miserable. It really can. Because you're going to lose a lot. It's a learning curve. And I feel like with some TCGs, you play them, and there's that instant gratification immediately, right? You play Pokemon, you can really get Pokemon down fairly easy, and you're like, you get that instant gratification. One Piece, I don't think is a super difficult card game, right? You play it a couple of times, you get in a groove, you can get some wins. Yu-Gi-Oh is a game where you will not see a it feels like you won't see a win for a while. And I feel like the people that play the TCG are so hardcore that if you're a new player, it kind of feels like you're like facing a wall. So I do think that still speaks to the game is still very difficult, Master Duel or TCG wise. It's just a difficult game to play. I think another benefit, I kind of talked about the community vibes a bit, but I'm going back to the community because, bro, Yu-Gi-Oh players will give you like cards. Like they will literally give you, they will help you build a deck, right? If a Yu-Gi-Oh player sees you trying to build something and they're like, you're like struggling to find a card, 9 times out of 10, one of them has that card and they'll just flat out give it to you. So like I said, this is a headstrong community. They're slick, what's the word, sundays? The Yu-Gi-Oh community, they're slick sundays, I ain't gonna lie. Like, they're mean to you initially, but they're like, bro, they're nice, bro. So, I think I had a lot of preconceived notions about how playing Yu-Gi-Oh in person would be. And I think my biggest personal concern, I talked about this in a YouTube short, was that Master Duel kind of does a lot for me. It highlights what you can do. You can kind of slick a little bit, take your time, reading cards. You can read your opponent cards. And I didn't want me going to play in person feel like I was disrupting the flow of the game, if that makes sense, right? I'm sitting here reading every card. Like, yeah, I'm like, okay, I'm coming in here with this deck, and like my opponent expects me to at least know what my own deck does, right? Sometimes in Master Duel, you're like, okay, I need a little reminder of what my own deck is doing. So I feel like a lot of Master Duel autopilots that stuff for you. You kind of have to know in the TCG. So I was kind of intimidated by that aspect, but it honestly, nobody really cares, bro. If you want to sit there and read your cards, like whatever, bro. If you want to sit here and read my cards, like whatever, bro. Like they genuinely just don't care. Like they're just like, whatever, let's just play. So yeah, over the last few months, I've had a great time playing the Yu-Gi-Oh TCG. And that kind of goes back to my bigger picture where like, first of all, recording for the Yu-Gi-Oh TCG is difficult, which is probably why you're not seeing any footage at all on the screen. Because when you're recording for Master Duel, right, it's just me. Like, it's my side, it's whatever. When I'm recording if I'm trying to record for the Yu-Gi-Oh TCG, first, I have to get consent from the people that own the place. Then I have to get consent from my opponent to make sure they're okay. Then I have to make sure that everything is set up properly to where I can see. Like, it's just way too much going on with being able to record. I still have to figure that out for myself, because One Piece is the benefit of Yu-Gi-Oh is that there's a legit online client. For One Piece, they don't have that. Like they have Sim, but Sim isn't anything official. So when I'm playing One Piece in person, it's like, okay, well, now I have to figure this out. So yeah, it's a hassle. Yeah, I think in the second part of this year, I want to try to do a bit different things. Maybe I can get some TCG in-person footage for Yu-Gi-Oh up on this channel. Obviously, Master Duel isn't going anywhere. I hate that I have to say that, but I know people are traumatized. Master Duel will always be here. But I want to start kind of diversifying more than just being like, oh, here's this Master Duel video for this event that we've played for the last 3 years. We played the same event. Here's it again, but with me playing a new deck. Here's this event again with me playing the same deck that I played before. Like, I want to kind of steer away from that. And I know my strengths as a Yu-Gi-Oh content creator. I'm not going to be the one that gives you a deck profile. I'm just not. That's just not me. If you want a deck profile, there are so many great Yu-Gi-Oh channels that can give you a fantastic. I would be the worst person to give a deck profile. I cannot teach you how to play a deck. I'm learning how to play these decks myself. Those tutorial teaching, that ain't okay. I'm here. I got a messed up hairline. I'm kind of funny sometimes, not for real. And I'm just learning these TCGs as we go. Like I said, we'll be introducing more stuff. Like I think One Piece will probably show up the most often. That Naruto TCG might show up here and there. And then Magic the Gathering will be a big one. I know there's so many people that play that game. And last time I tried to play Magic, I got absolutely fried. So yeah, I just want to say my experience with the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG has been pretty good. I personally think that playing Yu-Gi-Oh! In person is a lot more fun than playing Master Duel. I think it is. Because the thing with Master Duel is just like, there's no interaction with the opponent. Like I go, we're playing, it's over. Like there's no GG. There's literally nothing. There's no GG, there's no hello. There's no, oh yeah, you could have did. There's literally no sort of interaction in that game. And that's probably what, outside of Master Duel not having like new modes in like 3 years, I just don't like that I cannot interact with my opponent at all. Listen, I understand why they do it. Don't get me wrong. I understand why they don't let people talk to each other or chat with each other. Because I know what some of y'all will be saying. Slurs everywhere. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Some of y'all gonna be throwing slurs, okay? I understand why they do it. That don't mean I have to like it. So being able to play in person and kind of interact with the opponent, them giving me tips, them kind of just having conversations, just being able to talk to people in real time about the love of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is just great. So yeah, the TCG has been pretty fun. You kind of got some insight into my brain for at least the rest of the year. Master Duel ain't going nowhere. It's literally not. Just expect additional stuff on the channel. In a broad picture of things, I think I would love to get to a place where we can go to these different regions and kind of see what their locals look like, see what card games are. I'd be wondering, like, in regions, what's the most popular like card game in the area? Like, what's the most popular TCG that people play? I think in a lot of areas, Pokemon will probably end up being #1. But I think here it's probably Magic. Magic is popular too. But let me know what you think the most popular TCG is in your area. Let me know what you think about Master Duel versus the TCG. I'm curious about y'all thoughts. And as always, everybody, happy dueling.